What is up? Welcome back to Game Brigade. Today on the show, we're doing another Should You Back. Today, we're going to be diving into SURIYA. This is a area control deck building game. Those are two keywords that I like to, check out. So we're going to be diving into this campaign. As a reminder, we still have our giveaway going on right now for Avalon the Riven Vale. This will be given away once we hit 10,000 subscribers, and we are so close, guys. Just remember, you got to subscribe to the channel, like, and to enter for the giveaway, you must leave a comment for the question of the day, hashtag QOTD, answering whatever it is my question of the day may be. So let's go ahead and dive into the campaign here. So as I said, this is SURIYA. They are 12 days left to go at the time of this filming. They have $135,000. So this is more of an indie publisher. Now, this is from Hexa House. Now, Hexa House is a new company, I believe, out of Thailand, and they have made some games. Now, I remember covering this Victim game. This one here, they actually relaunched it. And from what I could see here, it looks like the game is being fulfilled. So those are always things that I like to check out, seeing how things are doing. Are they being fulfilled? If they are being fulfilled, what issues there always are going to be issues, usually with fulfillment. There's our cases, but I always like to go back and look, are they fulfilling their original campaigns? And if they are, that's great. So now that we know that they have a history of at least delivering, let's take a look at their game. So this is SURIYA. Now, they obviously are starting off with their all-in pledge here. We're not going to take a look at that. Let's talk about what the game is first. So SURIYA, the reason I'm wanting to talk about this game is it has some elements that are interesting. Now I want to talk about those and see how they kind of intertwine and maybe kind of get a discussion if this is a game that you might be considering. So from here you can see this mat. It's a circular board. This game is playable, I believe 2, 3, or 4 players. I don't know about solo play. But it is up to multiplayer game, and this is a competitive game, so you're going to be going against your opponents. Now, as I mentioned, it's a deck building game, but also an area control game. So you are going to be getting, let's see if I can see some regions here. So you are going to be getting, I don't like the way they do this. Here's a better example. I just want to see like a board built. Okay, here's a better example. So you're going to have these territory pieces on the board. Now these are all different types of terrain, like forests, plateau, deserts, water, I guess, swamp or whatever you want to call it. So there are different types of territories, and they also have different types of bonuses or negative attributes for being in those regions. And this game is going to have a drafting mechanic at the start of the game where players are going to draft and place these positional places on the board. And you'll also notice they have some of these that are a little higher. They're terrain. Plateaus, as this one is right here, is a plateau, are always going to be the tallest, and having a range bonus or a height bonus in combat matters. And then each player will have a medium piece that they're going to be able to place once the board's been set up. So you kind of have this like modular board. After that, you're going to go into the actual gameplay. So gameplay is going to be almost like a standard deck builder where you're going to have a set of 10 cards. I believe 7 of them are going to be basic cards that are similar to everyone else. And then you're going to choose 3 of your faction asymmetrical cards at the start of the game. And you are going to play those cards, either playing them with, for minerals, to discard them for minerals, or play them for their effect. And, standard deck building stuff at that point. So you're going to get cards, play cards. Then the area control aspect here is you're going to have these little figures who are going to be, spawning at your base, moving to different regions on the board to either collect resources, to be in a position to spawn additional bases for you or footholds, or engage in combat against your opponent. So that's the area control combat aspect of the game. So kind of an interesting take, and there's a few elements that I like about that. First, the drafting is interesting. I haven't seen many games that have that drafting competitiveness implemented into it. And then the way the deck building is kind of put in there, you also have very asymmetrical basically players if you in terms of the cards that you have. When you decide to deck build, you're going to choose either a basic card that's kind of like from the available pool that most people can buy from, or a card that's from your asymmetrical cards. And the only thing that's a little weird about that is they have those cards that are hidden. So you're going to have like a kind of like a board in front of you that shows your hidden See how this guy has like this board here? You're going to have like your stuff behind that. So you're going to have your 3 cards hidden behind there. So people aren't going to know what you're adding into your deck from your technology. And then you're going to replace that card with another one in the available 3 pool. So that's the shtick of it. So you're going to have to, is this game for you? Obviously answer those questions if the gameplay sounds interesting. Now, why back now? The other thing I always like to take a look at, Kickstarter exclusive. So this is not going to be going to retail. So the only time you're going to see this is now by backing it through here, or finding a retailer who backed it through the campaign. So I would always ask your local game stores if they're backing it. If they haven't, maybe ask them if they would be interested in backing it. That way they could have copies, and then you could potentially pick it up there as well. This does feature several different types of unlocks. They have daily unlocks, which are going to be unlocking throughout the course of the campaign. Then they also have funding stretch goals. So I enjoy this. There was a period of time where I was all about just funding stretch goals, but I kind of like the mixture of both. Give us your daily unlocks. These are things to get you excited, to get you back to the campaign page each day, to see what's happening, such as new, characters or factions being unlocked, or funding stretch goals, which are based on the success of the campaign, adding more content to the game. So I do like that. In terms of the core box, you have 3 core factions. You have the humans, you have the these alien guys, the scarab. Now I will say, scrolling through the humans, I read the humans, and then I came down here and I read the scarab, and I said building a nest to spawn eggs and grow and attack the enemy with enormous numbers, creating tunnels. And I'm like, oh, it's the Zerg. So I was going down here, I'm like, this is the Zerg, right? These are basically the Zerg. And as I came down here, I said, as long as there's not robot aliens, we're good. And we got some robot aliens. I thought that was pretty funny. You could also say that this has some Warhammer 40k elements in terms of some of the what's the term? Inspiration. Because when we come down here, the next faction, these guys, the Kravatas, I believe, very much remind me of Necrons in terms of their look and kind of feel. But, I like it. The art is cool. I think the minis look great. In fact, one of the things that really kind of took me to the campaign, if we want to scheme up here at the top, I really liked this art. I thought this art was pretty cool. I think it looked pretty good. I think the art on the cards looks pretty cool. Like, this is stuff that kind of, catches my eye. So if we take a look here at pledge levels, they have the core pledge. Now they do have 2 different amounts here. So make sure you're aware of that, because this is, they mentioned it up here at the top. That's like in Singapore dollars right here. Yeah. So they have the S with a $sign is Singapore dollars, and then you have the US dollars. So make sure you're aware of that when you're looking at, money value and whatnot. But they have the core box here. We've already kind of talked about the core box. You have a Kickstarter exclusive dice tray if that's something you're interested in. You have the all-in pledge, which is going to include more factions as well as additional stretch goals. Make sure you check out the stretch goals and see which ones come with the core box and which ones come with the all-in pledge or higher additional pledges. So that could, make a bigger difference to you. The core box is $120 USD, while the all-in is $230. Those extra expansions are going to be these little animal guys, giving some more asymmetrical powers there. You have the Voidborn, which the Voidborn, if these miniatures come out the way these are looking, I've seen Simon do very similar. These are going to look pretty fucking fire. I'm pretty excited for what these are going to look like. And then you have the Marianas Trench guys. These are the ocean guys. And these guys are going to be pretty needed because one of the terrain types is a water terrain type. I remember the one I couldn't remember. And they're pretty negative to be in the water. And I think these guys are going to have a positive benefit for being in the water. So that would make a very more interesting element to the gameplay level. And then for add-ons, you have the playmat. Not sure how relevant or needed that is based on without seeing an actual physical version of the one that comes with the core box. But if you're looking for a playmat, that's there, as well as those expansion. Now, this also has a dice element. I forgot to mention this. The combat is decided through dice rolling. So based on the type of unit you have there, you have a standard unit and you have an elite unit. You'll roll a dice depending on the one, and the attacker will also roll a red dice. So you have a benefit for being the attacker. And basically you have defense and hits on the dice. That's pretty simple. And if the dice shows a T, I'm surprised that none of these dice have it, but some of the dice face have a little T. That means you can actually play a tactics card. So your cards have three elements to them. You have the ability like on the card, so play it for this ability. You can discard it for minerals to get money to pay for your cards, or you can keep them and play them as tactic cards, which are basically buffs or changes to the combat math, you know, more attack or more defense to kind of change that combat math. But you can only play those if your dice faces show a T on them. At least that was in the video that I watched in terms of the references. So that is basically what we're looking at here in terms of SURIYA. They have a rules book for you to check out, but I would recommend, if you're really curious, this video from the publisher. It's about 20 minutes long. I watched the entire thing. It gives you a very good rundown of how the gameplay is going to be broken down. And if you come down here to the previews and reviews, they actually have some gameplay that you can watch to kind of see if this would be something you're interested in. I am interested in this in terms of the overall elements I'm seeing here. I just there's a few things I have questions on. Some of the things, and it could be prototype stuff. Like I have to remind myself, it could all be prototype. But when I was watching the how to play here in English, some of the language on the cards, I feel like could be a little bit better, more clean. For example, one of the cards was like build at your base, but you can eventually build up to three bases, I believe. So I would like to see it say build at your main base, or build at your headquarters, or build at one of your bases. Like make sure you have some differentiation in the language there, so that it's more clear that where can I particularly build this unit at. Stuff like that, just minor little tweaks and stuff, not huge hamper in terms of my enjoyment of a game like this. But that was the only thing by watching this and seeing some of the card descriptions that I would have liked to have seen change. But again, this is a prototype, so that can all change. And they're obviously non-native English speakers, so you always have to take that for a grain of salt and hopefully see the improvements. So we're going to switch on over to my main camera and kind of ask our question of the day, as well as kind of finish up our final thoughts on SURIYA. So the question of the day is going to be kind of opposite of what we're talking about here in the campaign, but since we're talking about my giveaway and we're talking about that a lot, we are going to be reaching 10,000 subscribers. Is there anything special that you guys recommend that I might do for a 10,000 thank you video? What would you recommend me do, or any suggestions? I would love to hear it in the comment section down below. And remember, by answering this question, it'll get you a free entry into the Avalon, the Riven Vale giveaway. So thank you for that. Otherwise, let's talk about SURIYA. SURIYA is from an independent publisher. I have gone on record and say that I've enjoyed working and covering a lot of independent publishers. I enjoy the kind of the roots of what Kickstarter means. So when I see these campaigns from publishers that are trying, you know, to make it, and this is their second or third campaign, I always want to take a look. And when I saw this on Board Game Geek and saw that this had area control, deck building elements, and a competitive gameplay, I was like, all right, I'm in. Like, some of my favorite games are Dune Imperium, which has similar elements as well. Not quite area control, but, you know, has worker placement sections in that one. So I enjoy those kind of gameplay. So I wanted to see, how is the deck building built? What kind of elements are we looking at? And I enjoy what I see so far. So I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this one. Is this one that's on your radar? Is it on your radar now? Or are you completely skipping it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. My name is Brian from Game Brigade, and I will talk to you very soon. Also, as a side note here at the end of the video, I want to thank everyone who has supported my daughter with her Girl Scout cookies. Thank you guys so much. I was shocked, to be honest with you, when I saw people had bought or donated cookies to either, you know, first responders or the military, or purchased them for yourselves. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your support. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go and check out my last vlog where we talk about the Awakened Realms swag, and the information is in there. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Again, I'll sign off. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.